Okay, welcome to the 9th video. And what we'll do now is we're going to start working on our actual Google Sitemaps plugin. So what we got to do is, let's clean this up just a little bit, close some of this up. We want to go to plugins. We want to go to installed. And if you have a lot of plugins, you can go to inactive. That's usually the fastest way, but since we don't have a lot of plugins here, it's sitting right in front of us. What we'll do is we'll activate it. And the plugin is activated. And you will now find it over in your settings under XML sitemap. Click on it. Okay, now here's where we got to set it up. And we haven't built it for the first time or anything. So let's don't jump. You would think that you start at the top, but let's don't. Okay? Kind of crazy, eh? What we need to do is we've got it automatically. We have got Google's already notified or checked to notify. Bing is, and Ask.com is, but Yahoo is not. All right. So what we got to do then is get a application ID. And confusing. I hear this all the time. It is confusing, and it is a little confusing. So let me show you how to do that real quick. We'll request one here. Click on that. Let's go. When you click on it, you'll be taken to a login page on Yahoo. If you do not have a Yahoo email or an ID, if I'm not mistaken, you can set up just a ID for an account and not have an email account. But that's something you'll have to check into to verify. It used to be that way. I'm not positive now. So if you do not have an ID already, go ahead and sign up for one and come on back here so we can walk on through this. Okay, I'm assuming that you have gotten your ID or entered in your Yahoo email address, and you should be at this page here. You need to actually be logged in to get this information, and this is very important. We got to do it right. And it's pretty much self-explanatory. We want generic. We're not building an application for our browser. You need to do your developer company name, whatever the case may be, your product name. You know, that's generally what I enter in as the title of my website. So when I come back later and look for my application IDs, if I need them, I can reference it to it, but you actually have to enter something in anyway. And the web application URL is not mandatory, but it's up to you if you want to try to keep track of things better. You need your contact email. Of course, I use my Yahoo email. The phone number is not mandatory, and your description of application, you put whatever you would like. I always just put SEO. So you've got that filled in, and you'll continue. Okay, I've got my application ID here, and since I am going to be removing all of this, I'm not really worried about anybody seeing it, but normally you don't give your application IDs away. They are private. So what I've done is I've left click and drug over, and you notice there's 2 dashes at the end of it. You need those also. I'm going to take my keyboard, I'm going to hit Control, I'm going to do a C, I'm going to copy. And I'm going to go back here, I'm going to notify it, and click notify, and your application ID, I'm going to do a Control V and paste it in. It's a very important step if you want to use Yahoo, and I can't imagine you not wanting to. And everything else, I'm leaving pretty much here at their default settings. Okay. You'll see that everything, do not use automatic calculation. I check that, and you can check if you would like, but you know, if you have a blog with a lot of comments on it, if that's what you're doing, then that may be the way to go. But in my case, I do not do that. And the actual locations, everything is set. Leave it all at default. And if you wanted to exclude some of your categories, you could do that, but I'm not going to. I'll leave the chain frequency and the priorities all the same. It's all at default. Update my options. and we're updated. Okay, there's two things here that I want to point out. Now that you have the sitemap generator set up, when you do a post, when you add a new post and you hit submit, what happens is the sitemap generator is rebuilt. And during that time, after it's rebuilt, Google, Bing, Ask, and Yahoo are pinged to tell them that you have new content on your blog. And that's a secret right there of getting ranked pretty fast on Google. That's how you get ranked. It's not that you do a post and they come crawl your page just because you've got an SEO plugin. That's not it. The SEO plugin is to optimize the page. The sitemap generator is to let Google and all of them know that you have new content ready for them. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, so right now we haven't done anything. There's two ways to go about it. You can build it here for the first time. I apologize if there's background noise. I've got construction going on out here in the yard, and it's bleeding through a little bit. I've tried to mask it, but if you hear some tractors and such as, I apologize. Life must move on, right? March forward. So it's not built. And I want to go ahead and build it right now. And I can do this one of two ways. I can go back to my post and update it, and it will build it automatically. But since we're here, you can go ahead, if you've got your content ready and you follow the videos like I told you to, you can do it from here. And one thing before I click, I want to tell you also is if you're on a host that's not very reliable or got small servers or what is, this is not always going to work. And the simple reason is they're not powerful enough. Stay with something like HostGator or your own server. And if you get an error, you may have to do permissions on the directories to allow them to write. That's out of the scope of this video. You would have to contact your hosting provider and get them to tell you how, because actually if they're up to date, you should not have that problem. So let's click it, and it's going to be built. Okay, so now you see that it was actually built the 21st, and it was zipped, and Google was notified, Yahoo was notified, Bing and Ask, everybody was notified. It took 2.4 seconds to build it. Now as your blog gets bigger and bigger and bigger, it's going to take more time, and it actually may start doing it in the background process. You know, it may take 60 seconds, 90 seconds, however long. And that's pretty much it on getting your sitemap built. That way we just now pinged all of those search engines, and hopefully they're going to come take a look at your blog. One other thing I'll point out is you know, brand new spanking blogs with very little content and no links in don't always get ranked right off the bat or have a high ranking. The little old blog I was showing you earlier where I ranked on the first page of Google only has a PR2, which is very, very low. So, you know, go ahead and get some links in, and it's not going to hurt by any means. All right, now we're going to move on to the next video, and I'll see you in that one.